Really happening. A live morning remote. Join Early Break and The Drive from 6 to 10 a.m. on Thursday and Friday at Double Eagle Golf on West O for the first 2 days of the Masters. Bloody Marys, simulator golf, and the Masters. What's better than that? Double Eagle Golf in the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Decreasing cloud cover and a warm day on the way. We'll top out 73. Winds out of the south-southeast at around 15 to 20. Very slight chance of showers this evening into tonight. Low of around 29. Windy and cooler tomorrow. Northwest winds gusting over 30 and a high of only around 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Tuesday. It's Old School. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. Nice and sunny outside, so we're going to try to keep that vibe going. The day after National Championship for the UConn Huskies. DP in the crossover with Strick talked about the UFC. We had Sip reporting in from practice. The sights and sounds and the rumor mill for what possibly is going to be coming down the pipe for Nebraska in the fall in the future. It's so forth and so on. A lot of stuff going on, even though it's the spring. You got Major League Baseball. You got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of headlines. You got the Masters this week. Got still getting the Caitlin Clark and Reese nonsense going on as you got people from Barstools expressing their ignorance. But it's all good in the hood. I think the first thing, DP, we obviously got to jump into the national championship game. I think from early on, UConn, Dan, Coach Hurley said they should have been up by 20 at halftime. Maybe that was probably a little bit much, but I think their length in real life, I think really stymied San Diego State's offense. I think they went 10, 11 minutes and didn't make a field goal. Right there, when you even though UConn was struggling a little bit from the field because San Diego State is a heck of a defensive team themselves, when you're not able to put the ball in the hoop, it's a deflating type of game. And they were missing some easy shots or some bunnies. They were, one thing I noticed about them is they were looking for the perfect shot. Instead of driving into the hole and getting into the chest of the bigger guys, like you normally would like to see, they were jump stopping and trying to be like a guarantee to make the shot. And then what happened, the results were they looked a little choppy or a lot choppy, and you saw a lot of shots just graze the front of the rim. And those are shots that normally you think against, say, like a Creighton, obviously against, Florida Atlantic, we're going in. But those are shots that you need when you're facing a team like UConn that have been the most dominant team in the tournament, but a team like UConn that has that type of length and width and size and speed. Because if you're able to get those type of shots going, it makes the outside shots easier. It gives you more spacing. But UConn was able to pack in the lane. One thing I wish they would have done if they could have took a little bit of the Fred Hoiberg, Nebraska type of mentality, especially with their lineup, have a point forward like a Derek Walker. They have that capability or had that capability to bring those big guys out, get them in foul trouble, and get downhill in the secondary break instances or whatever. And that, I think, would have helped them. But, ultimately, UConn are them dudes.
I looked at it. We had their friends and family around the San Diego State program, and Jay, you've probably done it. Austin, you've probably done this as well as coaches. Sometimes you will ask the players when you're kind of 50-50 on your approach, right? That you'll ask the players, okay, we can do this or we can do this. What do you guys feel most comfortable with? And sometimes they'll give you the wrong answer.
Yeah.
The feeling for San Diego State was that the only way this team we're going to struggle is if we don't hit our shots. But they thought they could get the shots they wanted and that they would go down. Well, it's what I said yesterday. If they shoot poorly, it's a tough night. Like there's no other way. Well, they shot poorly, and then they shot poorly for a long time.
They didn't have the slump breaker shot. Here's what the problem I had with San Diego State, and this is I want to give all the credit to UConn. Number one, UConn in the tournament, nobody is shot as a team over 35% in a game. So I'll let you know they did not discriminate against who they were locking up. They were playing some defense, and that's where the offense came from. And they went 9 deep. But the thing I didn't like about San Diego State was at the beginning of the game, they were more wide open, right? More 1 or 2 passes, get a good shot, if not move the ball. And they were getting shots after the third or fourth pass, and they were right there with them. I think they hit the first four or 5 shots, or 4 or 5 or 5 or 6. What they were trying to do, which especially, and this is in the run DP when they didn't score for like 11 minutes or whatever it was, is they kept trying to play with their back to the basket against 2 behemoths in there. And it's not just those 2. Okay, everybody knows about the 2 big guys they have. But then they are 6'8", 6'9" at the forward, 6'6", and 6'7" on the wings. There is nowhere for you to go. So even if you get past your primary defender, you're running into the oak trees. You're in the like the Black Forest over there in Germany. So I just think that I mean, obviously when watching the game, I thought San Diego State's going to have to play close to their best game to win. Even their coach said it.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I would have liked to see more adjustments. I would like to see them try something else because their defense allowed them to keep it somewhat close at halftime. Allowed them to do, some things coming out of halftime. But UConn's depth in shooting and their pin downs and their rubs and the stuff that pound you in the middle, offensive rebound, and then hit open shots was always going to keep them the lead. So you have to do something different. Now, they did come back and get within 6. What did UConn do?
Right back to what they do.
Right back what they do well. Going right back to what they did was inside out game, hit the threes, dagger in the heart, so forth and so on. Very well coached team, tough team, physical. Scoring was spread out, led by their defense, low turnovers. They were obviously the best team, and that's coming after struggling in the Big East. But I think the Big East got them ready because there's a variety of Big East teams that play differently.
What did we miss about UConn? So before the tournament started, right?
Well, they lost barely to Marquette, though. So I mean, if Marquette goes and goes farther in the Big East tournament, I mean, you win by 1 point. I mean, there's no. I mean. That's
right, like what did we miss?
Possession.
Like we didn't deem them or dub them top 5 at right?
Oh no, you're wrong. Here's why. Here's the thing. They came out the box 14-0, and then they had the oops.
January was bad.
Oops,
right? Like it wasn't enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they came off 14-0, start feeling themselves, got into league play where teams know each other, and whether it's Marquette, Creighton, all the other biggies, they all have a 7-footer and they're physical. Yeah. So they know each other. So you're not able to kind of get off like you are in the tournament. But what they did was kind of just hold their head above water, through there, get into the Big East tournament and actually play well, end up losing to Marquette. And then they went back, and I think, really, to be honest, here's a good analogy. Since it's the Masters week, Tiger Woods played in the match play event the year that he won the Masters. Mm-hmm. I think he was, if there ever was a look on Tiger's face, he was okay when he lost his semifinal match because he learned enough about himself and his game that he knew he was ready. And he didn't need an extra, was it 54 holes or whatever it would be to do it. He already got it. What he did was more rest, get on the plane, get your game plan together, practice for a week, show up and he won the Masters. I think with UConn, even though they would have liked to win every single game, they proved to themselves that if they played a certain way, nobody could beat them. Now they end up losing, but it gave confidence to the team and the coaching staff of, okay, we're playing back to UConn basketball, our identity. We're going to be hell on wheels, and they got a great draw too.
Is UConn better offensively or defensively? Who do you give that credit to? Right,
defensively.
Okay,
that size and that length. I mean,
it's tough.
32
right?
is 7'2", 285 pounds, and he looks like he's 220
and can move.
So
it's going to be hard to keep him up in stores.
I think the offense gets the headlines. I think they were underrated defensively because of their length and positional size. According to our friend Ken Pomeroy, UConn was the 3rd rated offense and the 7th rated defense.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure like what the identity of UConn is or was, and that's probably why they win the national championship, is that you don't have a thing that you can focus on.
And they don't have the player like Miller at Alabama. They don't have Timmy. They don't have that. But I'm saying, is like, I guess the best thing that happened to him, DP, is what I'm saying, and DP and Austin, before we go to break, is in some ways they peaked early, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times what happens with teams, they peak early and then they're done. Well, what they did was they peaked. I wouldn't even say that they came out the box really, really strong. Went through the rapids, right?
Yep.
Which, sometimes you could say, hey, there's a couple good losses are good losses. Learn from it. Drew back on what they did well at the beginning of the season. Really did a really good job of self-scouting and evaluation during those rocky periods. Really probably came into the Big E. They went into I think when I listened to Coach Hurley last night, they went into the Big East tournament with a big tournament mentality. And so then they kind of got a pre-NCAA tournament against the best competition and harder competition, game in and game out, because you're playing with less rest against teams that know you with the big tournament mentality. And then once now they play every other day rest against teams that don't know them and they're not used to seeing that size. It actually, and then you get a little bit lower seed, so you can kind of come in. It kind of worked out really well for them. It's like it's no different in football. Where you get team that go through the wild card round and they're the hottest team. Mm-hmm. They don't ever want to stop playing,
right?
But they get hot at the right time. The team that gets the home field advantage, Dookie's on their leg, man. So that's the way it is. You got to give it up to UConn. They're going to be tough next year, so everybody better go back to the drawing board, whether it's the transfer portal or the recruitment trail. So old school, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We're going to go for a quick break, pay some bills, come back, and we're going to talk a little bit of Steve Sippleism. And I'm going to ask DP what he saw today, good, bad, and different in practice. We're going to dig into that, and then we're going to do a little Masters talk as well. Jay Foreman, DP, we'll be back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and fun family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhoadshomes.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Guys, it's really happening. A live morning remote. Join Early Break and The Drive from 6 to 10 a.m. on Thursday and Friday at Double Eagle Golf on West O for the first 2 days of the Masters. Bloody Marys, simulator golf, and the Masters. What's better than that? Double Eagle Golf in the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Decreasing cloud cover and a warm day on the way. We'll top out near 73. Winds out of the south-southeast at around 15 to 20. Very slight chance of showers this evening into tonight. A low of around 29. Windy and cooler tomorrow. Northwest winds gusting over 30 and a high of only around 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos.
Hey, yo!
Music by Sir Rico right there, giving up the props of Rico, going into the lab on the weekends and getting us some intro music. But
I think his daughter picked most.
Probably. This ain't Rico. But I want to give Rico props,
right.
Man. That's my little man.
Right.
So also we mentioned before the break that we're going to dive into some Cornhusker football practice today. Which obviously is was about once a week. Is open to the media. It seems twice a week. You're able to go watch 40 minutes of practice, kind of see stuff. I just want to ask DP, from the last time you were at practice and saw practice, what was the same and what was better and what was kind of indifferent?
Okay, so I'm gonna whine a little bit.
Dang,
I'm gonna whine.
You created chaos. You like you were.
Let's bring Kevin Meyer in real quick.
Austin, I'm Captain Chaos.
He was Captain Chaos yesterday.
Yeah.
Now he's whiny Willie today.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What, you going to be Crazy Carl tomorrow? Come on, player. Just keep it in line.
Tomorrow I'm going to be in South Beach. I'm going to be
yeah.
South Beach Sam.
You Big Poppy tomorrow. Hola, como estás?
Pimping since pimping.
Okay. So what you going to whine about, man?
So there are 2 days that we get to see 35 minutes.
Okay.
2 days. When I'm waiting all week to get whatever information this program wants and needs for me to share, if I spend the bulk of that time watching you stretch and do individual drills, I only get to look at players. I don't get to look at anything else. I get to look at players. And then a lot of this time is on special teams. And then in the post-conference presser, you send me 3 special teamers and the special teams coach.
Well, that was just in the rotation, man.
Well,
you guys don't get to pick and choose who you get to talk to. You just got to talk to who's ever out there.
It don't mean that I have to be
Ask
satisfied.
the questions, whoever's out there.
I don't have to be satisfied with it because I'd like to give Husker fans information about players that are going to play the bulk of the plays and it will determine the future of this program.
Them specialists are.
You really?
Yeah, because if you if you got a bad punter and kicker and special teams, you ain't got a chance to win, man.
So we like the kickers for the first time in 3 years. We like the kickers. We like
they like the kickers. It don't matter if we like the kickers.
Like they like them. So
he
okay,
good,
cool.
But he
all
handled his business.
So I and then I need to see the kick returner. So I got to see Billy Kemp the fourth. Like I understand. Okay, cool.
Is Billy Kemp the fourth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does he have the numeral things on?
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Number 4.
Tell me 4 people you want to talk to.
Number 1, the most interesting man, the guy who's officially, they should put him on a poster as I am the most interesting Husker on the football program. Torres. I want to hear from young Mr. Torres. I want to know what he's thinking.
Talk to him for?
I want to know where he stands in the program because he has eyes and ears around the leadership of this team.
Torres? Man, he like the 15 quarterback.
But he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. You hear me, right? He shouldn't be.
Here's what I say. You need to talk to him after he does something exponentially well at a scrimmage or in a spring game. That's when I want to talk to him.
No, I want to hear from him.
Because then you're going to get the real deal answer.
I want to hear from him because he's going to tell you the truth. First of all.
No, he ain't.
He
ain't done nothing yet.
None of them have done anything.
But he ain't never to how many snaps
Real talk. So, Jay, the people who have done something haven't done good things, and the people who haven't said anything, right? I'm going to listen. I'm going to take your advice.
I'm just saying, you really want to talk to the 15 or 16 quarterback?
Yes, because
on a day that you did on a media
who spends
day?
The most time with the quarterback coach? The fourth or fifth quarterback, because he's the sponge. That's why he's there. He's the guy that hears the most. He hears what the players say because they feel like I'm not threatened by you, so I can tell you everything.
You know, you sound like Mr. Go 30 right now. I'm just telling you. You sound like you doing Mr. Didn't he, Austin? Didn't he? He sounded like Mr. Go 30. Hey, Austin. He was there, and then you even got the 2 screens right there. He talking.
Man,
I'm Torres.
That is
right?
so funny.
You know you hear everything. You sitting over there. You should have been listening like your mama. This, and this. You know what I mean? Your daddy would know what we talking about.
I wish I was mad at that.
But you straight with Mr. Go 30. Stop watching him.
Oh man, I wanted.
You were Mr. Go 30, man.
Like the moment was not too big,
right.
Mr. Torres. Okay, so he's the most fun for me to watch.
All right, who's second?
That
you would want.
I'm thankful that they gave us Jamari Butler today because Butler, to me, seems to be stepping up in his comfort, confidence, and leadership. So Jamari Butler seems to me to be a guy who's putting in work. MJ Sherman, I love watching. Like I love watching MJ Sherman work. He's violent, he's athletic, he's aggressive, and he's vocal in, hey, he's the guy that if Jay Foreman and Austin are in the same drill, he's looking across the line, counting, telling Austin, "You better let DP get up in front of you, bro. I'm about to bust you up."
Yeah.
Like he's so
MJ Sherman's he's Debo.
Yeah, like he's got that. So he's fun to watch. Billy Kim is fun to watch practice because he puts every drill is the play for him. You know how he's the one that he's gonna really upset some secondary dudes because he's never gonna take a play off of practice. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, why are you going 100 all the time? That's what I get from Billy Kemp IV. That's what I get from him. And then, truth be told, when you watch players move around the field, young center from Arizona State, Mr. Scott, gives me some comfort because he seems like the grown-up in the room. He seems like nothing that anybody asks him ever shakes him. It doesn't bother him. He's unaffected. What are we doing? Got you, coach. Like, tell me what you need. Tell me what we're doing. I'll get out front because I know what you're talking about. Like, he doesn't give him that look like Jay asked you to do a thing, and you look at somebody else to see, hey, acknowledge that what I think he's asking me to do. No, Scott knows exactly what they're asking him to do. And the real thing, Jay, is that not everybody knows what they're doing.
And that's
this is install and development. Like to be clear,
that's to be expected.
So to watch and find 5 players who you enjoy watching, right? Who move athletic arrogance, right? That thing that you can put your foot in the ground and be very sure that you're going to put the next one in the right place. Like, that's a simple thing. Those are the 5 guys that when they put their feet in the ground and when they use their hands, they're using it because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Those are the 5.
But those guys, well, besides Torres, but MJ Sherman's been in the
I want you to see. I want you to watch Torres throw.
And you can throw. I know he can throw, but I know right now he's at 15. So I think he might have a breakout scrimmage this weekend.
Torres.
The one thing about Torres I like is he has a little bit of what to him.
Yep. He's got that
natural.
Well,
not. And see, there's fabricated ones where guys are trying to try to tell you that they're tough or whatever. It's just Torres really believes in what he's doing. But I'm sure the coaches see it. It's just it's just a matter of time right now. And really, when you have a like Sims, right? He's taken quarterback snaps before. If Casey was healthy enough, he's taken actually live snaps before. So when you're trying to install and develop, those guys are going to be first and foremost because they've done it before. MJ Sherman's done it before. Kemp has done it before. Scott's done it before. So them going through spring ball is not new to them. You got a lot of young guys and new guys, right, that have came into this program that have never done it before to this magnitude.
Those are the leaders. Before spring game, those guys are the guys that if you didn't know, if you took off the numbers, you took the numbers off the jerseys, and didn't know who anybody was.
You talking about Kemp and Scott and those guys?
Yep, those are the 5 guys where you
that's what you would want. Though.
You go, oh, okay. I don't know who that is, but that's a dude.
But see, that's what I'm assuming. I can't speak for any of the coaches, but just talking in just general. Those guys that have done it before, you want them to be the leaders of your team, both the present on the roster, previous on the roster, or I guess holdovers if you want to call them, and the new guys, right? Because football is football, leading is leading. So if you're trying to, and they've in their way, they've tried to do more things to build this team bonding thing, right? And you heard it in Nash and his quote a week ago and stuff like that. So what you're seeing is, or what you'd like to see is different guys be leaders in their own way. See, the thing is that people don't really understand, and I can only reference when I was here at Nebraska. So we, even though we had our captains and very strong personalities, the Tommy Fraser, the Jason Peters, the Grant Wistroms, Rashawn was a captain and so forth and so on. We had, I guess, secondary captains all over the place. And like the main captain obviously was T.O. Then it went down to the coordinators and the position coaches. But as far as in the team and the locker room, you got to have all those guys because, look, the best leaders are generally followed by people that either want to lead with them and want to be led. I guarantee there's a few, and that goes coaches as well. The best coaches generally are followed or get the coach players that like to be coached.
Oh, they came after me. They came after us today, Jay. I have to tell you that. Coach staff came after me and Nick today. You ready for this? You ready for this? You ready for a laugh? You ready for a laugh?
Yeah.
So everybody, it's during the live. So it's the last 5 minutes of live, and Nick and I have been in the same place, but we're over near the quarterbacks, and now we're over near where the special teams open field tackling drills are being done on the sideline. And so Nick's asking me questions, and I'm showing him, okay, watch this, watch the feet. If you're going to watch this drill, don't watch head to head, watch the footwork. If the training's right, first footstep's the same for everybody. That means everybody's working from the same thing, right? And I'm coaching Nick, but I'm standing there. Strength coach runs over and goes, and I had my phone out because I was recording bits. And he goes, you can't record that. Like, you can't share that. Now, immediately, I'm like, okay, if you don't want me to film this, I'm not going to film it. Like, it's not that big a deal. I'm only doing this for my own notes for later on. I can go back and when I reference something, I know what I'm talking about. But then he's like, yeah, we don't want this shared. I'm like, I get that, but it's your practice. So whatever you say to me, I'm cool with. Like, you invited me, I'm cool. You tell me not to film, I ain't gonna film. Except it hit me because there were recruits and families and coaches there. So they could either thought that I was Nick's dad, right? That Nick was the recruit, and I was the dad or the coach
of a recruit. And I could not film and take this out and go, hey, this is a thing we ought to do, or a coaching point. But then he looks down and he sees the media credential and he goes, oh, you're media. Oh, you can film. And I'm like, well, it's too late now. I missed the moment. And the moment was too big.
Right. The moment was like there was a thing. But I'm like, dude really thought Nick was a recruit.
Man.
Hey, Jay, that's what like, hey, man, you thought Nick was like, so that's why you saw a picture on social media where there's a picture of Nick and you say, what position would Nick play if he was a recruit?
Nick would
That's where it came from.
What was the consensus? A little H back?
Look, Nick can't be nothing but the long snapper.
That's cold-blooded, man.
No!
Nick, I got you as an H back, man. Nick, I'm here with you, man. You like a little mini Todd Christensen, man.
No.
Kelsey.
You seen him run?
Mississippi Mud Dog said Nick is a long snapper.
Yeah, he's
punter.
a long snapper.
Pecan Pie said you're a punter.
Well,
I think you're a Todd Christensen in the making, Nick. I believe in you.
Did you see him run the 400?
Nah, but I know Nick can catch a 2 delay flat.
Look, Nick
can catch a 2 delay flat.
Nick is built like a center, but he's got a catcher's throwing arm. So I thought, put those two together, and he's a long snapper. That's literally like he's built like. I guarantee that coach was like, "Yeah, you over here watching special teams. You,
with your long snapper recruit."
Got him at a fullback. Somebody got Nick at the fullback. Little Joe Makovicka.
Nick ain't got that. Nick ain't about that life, man.
All right,
Jay,
man. I got Nick as a little Todd Christensen.
You fully expect
46.
Nick to line up and see Jay Foreman over there and go meet Jay Foreman in the hole.
Nick is on the backside of the offense. play action, long stretch play. Nick just throwing the guy off, 2 delay flat. One catch, 1 yard.
You know Nick's name?
What?
Chip.
That's him right there, Nick.
Chip. Look, Nick can't do nothing but chip.
That's right.
We're not asking Nick to do no.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, wait, ain't no Bob, ain't no back on backer going on. This is Nick is chip.
The ultimate X factor.
Did you remember when Nick was an intern and he went and played flag football?
I know. I was trying to hold it from you.
Our boy came through and said, look, we saw Nick out there running patterns and it was not pretty. Like he caught one pass for 1 yard in a flag football game against some dudes.
Nick's bossing someone is sitting on a rock.
Didn't he drop a third down pass or something?
Yep.
Nick, I got your back, dog. You my boy, man. Oh, good first second. We're gonna still talk Husker football all the way through the end of the hour, and then the first couple segments in the top of the hour, and then Kenny's gonna be here. Jay Foreman, DP, We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Guys, it's really happening. A live morning remote. Join Early Break and The Drive from 6 to 10 a.m. on Thursday and Friday at Double Eagle Golf on West O for the first 2 days of the Masters. Bloody Marys, simulator golf, and the Masters. What's better than that? Double Eagle Golf in the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-clean protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look better, feel better, or perform better. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. K-Dub is in the house. We know Austin to get him on the stream. Short segment here before we get to the top of the hour. I want to get your guys' opinions on this. I don't know if you guys saw it. The Arizona Cardinals owner is accused of cheating by the ex vice president Terry McDonough. I don't even know. I can't even pronounce that. McDonough or whatever. Accused of cheating. So the owner made them go get burner phones and communicate with Steve Keim, their GM at the time, that was suspended for a DUI, and also use those burner accounts to be on social media and doing all that stuff. Pretty much said, "You do the. I'm imploring you to do this, Kenny, or you're fired." Now, obviously, these two got fired. It was him, the vice president, and Steve Wilkes, who's now or was the defensive coordinator for Carolina last year, interim head coach, but was the head coach at the time for Arizona. Oddly enough, 1 year, holla at your boy. Then they fired him. I want to get your guys' opinion. The owner, I mean, the owner says to do it. I mean, the owner's the owner. You can't go no higher than that, right?
No, you can't. But
if you, Kid Frost said, "Okay, Kenny,
ain't happening." No,
he ain't even had to answer the question.
No.
He had to ask the question.
And
yeah,
some of that,
yeah,
but no.
I've been around too many pro organizations where burner phones were the norm, and you'd be surprised.
Burner phones exist in
every walk of life.
So,
but it shouldn't have to. It shouldn't have to. If you're doing good business, simple, good business, nobody got a burner phone to do something really good.
Hey, I'm not doing it.
A burner phone and a burner social media account and a burner name, a burner email. Nobody's doing right. Oh,
right.
We see that's the thing, right? Yeah. Right. When you caught that,
there's a lot of people that got burner, but people got fake like online chat lines accounts and stuff like that. I think
why?
Well, I'm about to. Here's what
you said. The owner told those guys to do that. He directed those guys to do that.
He's accused of gross misconduct, cheating, discrimination, and harassment and arbitration claim filed by his former executive vice president, Terry McDonough, to the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell. Goes into it. One of the biggest things is Bidwell. Bidwell's plan to use the burner phones to communicate with the general manager at the time that was serving a 5-game suspension. So he was serving a 5-game suspension from the NFL. So there should be no communication.
I know that.
Right. So, but they were like, okay, well, don't use your regular phone. Go to like Cell Phone Plus and get you a burner phone or whatever.
That's going to be
Hold
easy
on.
to track.
He still has the phone.
Who does?
McDonough,
snap.
which said contains the evidence of the cheating scandal as well as additional documentation. Hold on. The Cardinals said these allegations are outlandish.
What to do from Kramer, the black attorney from Kramer? This is outlandish. This is foolery. This is flimflammery. Listen, this is how you know.
But here's what the Cardinals did. They fight. You got to fight dirty. He's like, our position was consistent with many of the efforts that we made to accommodate Terry during his time with the team, despite difficulties in his personal life and his often volatile demeanor towards his colleagues.
So
essentially, they're saying he's crazy.
Yes, but if he has that phone.
And he said he was vindictive
with the evidence
since he got fired.
Well, if he's got that phone with the evidence.
See, this is how you know the nonsense exists, because if you need a burner phone, you don't go get a burner phone. You don't go purchase a burner phone. You go find somebody to do that for you.
They said the owner bullied, mocked, harassed, and displayed abusive behavior, formally reprimanded and berated, cursed at him, and ultimately demoted him, curtailing his 34-year NFL career.
Man. Well, somebody got to answer to it. I'm glad it ain't me.
Hey, man. Hey,
wait, Kenny.
There is never a day off in the NFL. I mean, these cats be up. Hey, Daniel Snyder just woke up and said, "You know what? I just hit the ultimate lick.
I choose chaos."
But he had the ultimate lick, right? Do bad business and then you get paid for it, just like your boy Sterling up there at the Clippers, right? You get paid, right? You bought a cheap Suns dude, right?
Yeah.
This dude right here fired his coach, hired a dude, nobody from Philly. Pocket Hercules coming off the ACL. You still paying the bachelor.
And coming out of study hall.
And yeah, he online somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then here this dude, they thought he was in the win. Nah. Hey, did you get my certified letter?
Bro.
Hey, man. You ain't. Hey. Did you? Gotcha.
That is hilarious.
Got him.
And then the NFL said we can confirm we got the receipt of the claim. Yeah, I'm sure you did, because it's all over social media right now. That's one of the owners. Next, hey, you know who? Hey, Magic. You don't get the Commanders. We got a team right here for you on the West Coast. So you ain't got to fly as far.
He on NBC today talking about give me my team.
They're gonna get you, man.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that. Top of the hour.
I'm getting out of the way. I'm gonna let y'all do
top
this.
Of the hour. We'll talk a little Husker football. I'm gonna
go to practice.
We're gonna get Kenny's thoughts on the game last night, and then we're gonna take it on to the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
Jay Foreman, Kenny, DP. We are out. Go ahead, Cardinals with Popular Hercules.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-clean protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look better, feel better, or perform better. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and fun, family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhoadshomes.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Decreasing cloud cover and a warm day on the way. We'll top out near 73. Winds out of the south-southeast at around 15 to 20. Very slight chance of showers this evening into tonight. A low of around 29. Windy and cooler tomorrow. Northwest winds gusting over 30 and a high of only around 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Little quick replacement. K-Dub in the house. Kenny Wilhite. Jay Foreman, Austin. Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. On sauces, spices, seafood, pasta, single servings sizes, both frozen and ready to go, and family size, frozen and ready to go. Kenny, I asked DP, I know you weren't at practice today, I asked him 4 guys that well, first of all, he was upset that the I don't know if you heard.
I listened to him.
Yeah, he was mad at special was out. So I asked him who the guys he wanted to talk to. The one that was most interesting, DP's first choice was Torres. And I said, man, the dude ain't number 5th on the depth chart. Now, I've been 7th on the depth chart before. Ain't nobody want to talk to me.
No.
They want to talk to me after the spring game when I end up number 1. What's your feeling on that? And I understand why DP says it, though.
I understand. I understood why he said it also when I was listening to you guys on the way in. But that's probably be the last person I want to hear from in practice personally. First and foremost, would probably be the starting quarterback, or who is
number 1, taking number 1 reps.
Taking number 1 reps.
Yeah. Everybody wants to talk to
Everybody wants to talk to the quarterback. So it definitely wouldn't be the 5th guy on the depth chart. We assume he's the 5th guy. We don't know. We haven't been told yet. So that's our assumption. So based off our assumption,
he at least 3rd. Jeff Sims, Harburg, Purdy,
Casey.
Well, Casey's not. I'm talking about.
You talking about just taking reps this spring? Jeff, Harburg, yeah.
Purdy. Yeah. So
DP was at practice. He must have saw him doing something good.
He do got an arm though.
He has a live arm. He and Harburg have live arms, but the control issue that they had.
They like Wild Thing, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? And it does, being accurate in high school is totally different than being accurate at the college level.
The windows are
being accurate at the college level.
It's totally different
than in the NFL
yes.
and being so it takes time. It takes coaching, it takes development, it takes reps. And hopefully that's what they're getting right now, is a lot of reps.
Torres is young, so he has time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's gonna wait it out or if he can win the job,
but you all for Harburg playing another position though.
Yes. He's an athlete.
He's like, who he reminds me of? Tim Tebow. Whoa. Tebow.
So you
play. He needs to play tight end.
Harburg does. Tebow couldn't play tight end.
Man, he couldn't play dead.
He tried.
He gave it a try. I mean, you can't say he tried, but he was a fish out of water.
I can see Harburg being
I don't
like
think
an
Harburg
outside
would be.
linebacker.
I don't
or
think
something.
he'd be a fish out of water.
I think he could be a outside linebacker or something.
He could.
He could be a tight end.
Yep.
Kind of like a moving H back. I think actually he has the mentality to kind of play those positions versus like Tebow didn't have that mentality. No. So I think, and with his athletic ability, speed and stuff like that, I think he could do it.
I don't think. Go ahead.
So Kenny, you switched quarterback to defense in high school. Did you play both sides of the ball?
Sparingly, but I had that mentality already.
It's a mentality.
Right. How do you rediscover that? Because I'm sure Harburg played both ways in high school. The C1 school probably would have had to at least some point. But how do you tap into that again after that long away?
I think he has it. I think he has just being around him for 2.5 years.
I think he does.
I think he has it.
Yeah, and I was there when I saw
Jay
him.
was there.
I think he, I normally wouldn't say a quarterback going to the defensive side, but I wouldn't normally say a quarterback going to tight end, moving kind of an H-back type or, just in the tight end room. If I didn't feel like he had the mentality or the mindset to do so. One thing is the athletic ability and build. You're looking at him.
Yes.
You see that. I mean, he's legit 6'4", 225. If he really got after it, he could get up to 245. Wouldn't look any different. But obviously, he's big, old, strong kid, well proportioned. But he has the mindset to do it. And I think, I would say this, I played with a guy named Jay Reemsma, right? Who's actually, I don't know. I know he's a politician in Michigan. He went to the University of Michigan. He came into Michigan as a quarterback. He left there as a tight end. He ended up playing 10 or maybe even 12 years in the NFL after making that transition after his third year in college. Quarterback to tight end. So it can be done. And Jay worked diligently to become a better blocker at the pro level, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to block the Bruce Smiths in practice, not be such and not be, a big hole in the offense. So he was able to be an online tight end. So it can be done. Now, granted, I'm not trying to say Harburg can go to the NFL, but I'm saying there's a lot of people that come into college at one position and leave another, and they end up being successful both at the college ranks and the college, or both at the college ranks, and in some cases the pro ranks. But they haven't done it yet. But I think one thing that he does give them flexibility with, if he takes that mentality of, just say if you have Casey and Sims, right, and say, perfect example is Minnesota, right? They had Morgan, who was more of their drop back.
Yep.
He could run. Seemed like he'd been there forever. That's why he was around PJ Fleck so much. Both of them had bald heads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when we went up to Minnesota and lost, not this year, but last year, remember their backup quarterback was strictly RPO. Kramer. Remember? I know. We know who messed up. Let's just get past
this year too.
Hold on. I'm just
okay,
let me
go ahead.
Just
go ahead.
Kenny,
because you heard me. Because you heard me.
Just come. Yeah, I know. I was there.
Because it hurts.
I know. Who do you think put that hole through that whiteboard at halftime?
So that was you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, but it was a role.
Yep.
It made the defense prepare for it, and sometimes if you overlook it, he started to become a factor, right? Now let's go to this year. Same thing. Quarterback, he's a little hurt. They bring in, I don't know, I can't even pronounce his last name. It's like Akolopoulos or something. So, but he's even more, he's an RPO threat, but he can throw the ball. And what did he do? They added a little bit to it.
Yep.
Gave him confidence. Did it in the Nebraska game. Now he's going to be the starter next year. Now, I'm not saying that can hard, but what I'm saying is if you got two quarterbacks, whoever ends up starting, and if you're playing both of them, and say they're a little nicked up, you can carve a rollout for a Harburg if you're dead set on having him start this year at quarterback and finish this year at quarterback. He's a good enough athlete that he can go in there and be a off-speed pitch to our fastballs, meaning third and short, Tebow time, jump pads, stuff that you have to kind of manufacture offensive yardage and first downs because your roster is still kind of in transition and you're trying to be savvy in how you win games, right? So then therefore, let me ask you this. Therefore, and generally, if you have a kind of a set program like Iowa, right? So it's 85 travel. Let's just talk about offense. 85 travel. To say it's 82 just because of the 3 specialists. So that if you split it right down the middle, 41 and 41 offense and defense, Iowa knows in the regular year, because they're head of Nebraska as far as football program, they know they're 24 guys that are going to play. I don't even know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or set. That's their like. They don't have to stretch their roster to 30. I think with this staff and this roster of that 41, they have to have all 41 hands on deck. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where you think of Ramir
Yep.
or something like that, because then that special teams comes into it. But then also you're going to have to be able to have people play different roles in different parts of games to kind of even the playing field, because the depth isn't there and you're still kind of developing and learning. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with that. It's going to be all 41 on both sides of the ball.
Right.
So you're going to have to scheme
at times,
out scheme
right
your opponent. That way they won't get a beat on you.
Right.
And then you're going to keep them honest, because the next team has to now prepare for it.
Yep. And then you come with another.
Then you come with another, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what tried to do when we had McCaffrey and Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think
McCaffrey.
They really.
But McCaffrey's mindset was, because here's why: your first start, I think it was against Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
and you did the first play you pitch, and you watch the ball pick the ball up and score, bruh. Where you been at any point in time in football? If you go to the whistle just in case,
yes,
and make the ref make the call.
Make him make
you
the
just
call.
made the call for the ref easy.
Yep.
Strike up the band already. That the people ain't even got back and got them red
They
hot
ain't
dogs.
got their seats yet. Seats ain't even
they
got
still,
one.
right. So I think that's what you're going to see when you think about Rollins going to from being the gray shirt that he's wearing, where he's playing tight end and defensive end. You see even before that, Jake Applegate go from outside linebacker to tight end. He played kind of a receiver in high school,
yeah.
but he's bigger to play tight end. And where you see Bonner going from a receiver, looking at his body type, okay, he could be a matchup problem for guys like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Running receiver routes in the box. So I think they're going to try to stretch this roster, number one, to develop guys, and potentially, I call it like you're adding scholarships without adding them to your allotment, because you're getting more out of your allotted number of scholarships. And so if you can do that, especially in these real, I call them imperative infant years, when you're in the stages of your tenure as a coach, first, second, third, as you're adding more talent, depth, development, and that's how you're able to 6-7 games the first year, 6, 7, 8 games the second year. Boom, we make a huge jump. Boom, now we got the roster full, because then what you're also doing is setting a culture of everybody's working, there's a possibility for everybody. And if you really want a really good example of it, the best example of it, New England Patriots. Julian Edelman, and Troy Brown both played DB.
Yep.
During
the season.
And one did in the playoffs.
But that's knowing who you have on your roster.
Right.
And that's
next level. It ain't comparable.
Teams have done it in college.
Right.
Well,
Michigan
Woodson,
did it. Yeah.
Woodson, and then God, I can't think of the other guy that did it. I'm drawing a blank, but teams have done it in college.
Right.
We did it here.
Oh yeah.
Tyrone Hughes played wingback.
Right.
Corey Dixon and Abdul Muhammad were really good.
Right.
And we got thin in the secondary, so they brought him over there, and he played the nickel in the bowl game.
Right.
And he did with a cast on. He did okay.
Yeah, and we did it when we were there when Farley was down. We brought Mike Minner down from safety to play, and we won the game against Colorado. People have done it. Actually, the defensive back for Michigan last year, number 0.
Yep.
The thing is not Toussaint, it's like Toussaint, was a receiver all 4 years of his career at Michigan. Depth, and obviously they kept bringing in guys, and Bell and all the really good receivers that were better than him. Goes over to DB. He ends up starting at nickel and making huge plays in the Big Ten championship, or actually throughout the whole year, Big Ten championship and obviously college football playoff. So it can be done. You can stretch your roster. Now, you don't want to be doing that.
No, you don't want to make a living out of it.
You don't want to have 13 guys going both ways. But if you can find different guys that can add to your roster, especially if you lack a little depth, then that's also a big thing, for people that can do. One of the other guys I thought was really interesting that he asked about Kenny was Jamari Butler. And, they had the thing where MJ Sherman, or I think Sipple might have said that MJ Sherman and Jamari Butler both kind of got together and understand like they really they will control not the destiny of the defense, but they both can learn from each other, and they both need to play well for this defense to have a chance.
I know Jamari, but and I know he's bound to have a breakout year.
Yeah,
he's probably him and Ty Robinson, besides the secondary guys, when you got the linebackers. But this is an outbreak year for him.
Yeah,
and I think in that position group, he's probably the vocal leader, the leader. Will he take that and run with it? I think so. Just knowing his makeup and watched him all last year and the year before.
The improvement that he's made.
Much improvement.
And the dedication that he's made. The mindset change that he's made. I know that he used to get so mad at me. I said, man, you need to get in the weight room, bro. And he really didn't understand. This is back when I was there. He really didn't. A lot of them did. Yeah, but I'm saying, because I saw the potential in him, and I was talking to you about it. I talked to Matt Davidson at the time. I said, look, man, that dude right there has the potential to be better than anybody you got in that room. And it was because by trade, he's a basketball player.
Yes.
He started playing football late. He wants to be good or wants to be great. But the ability to play on 2 feet and in space was totally different than anybody over there. He wasn't a defensive end that they had to convert to outside linebacker. And then and I remember it, one day I kept telling him, he'd be like, man, whatever, coach. Then finally he had a good week in the weight room because I'd asked, Dave Ellis and Zach. They're like, yeah, he'd been in every day after practice. And then he started to see
his body started
to change. Then he started to see he started showing up more in practice, even though it was on the scout team. And then even like last year, I remember the Purdue game where he got in the game and he showed the ability to play stack linebacker.
Yes.
So stack linebacker for you people out there is what I played. Not on the ball, behind the linebacker, the regular position, and made a couple good plays in the Purdue game. Got caught out of position once, but it was a hard play. They really, he was probably in a deep cover 3 drop, playing deep to short, got a little bit out leverage. But that's all about learning. And the potential as far as pass rush and the ability to get off the ball, good long arms. I think if him and MJ Sherman could pay some dividends, it's going to do nothing but good things, not only for the defense, but for the team as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm pulling for my guy.
I wanted to ask you
JB.
this. I wanted to ask you this, Kenny, and me and DP talked about it. We got about 4 minutes left, is leadership. And obviously when we played, we didn't have as much turnover as these guys. But, you being down there, you've seen, even like last year, you brought in, 12 guys from the portal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talk about the mix in guys being leaders, the new guys coming in, mixing with the guys that are already there, leadership and stuff like that. Because I said, look, man, even though that we had very strong personalities, the captains, right? You always had like subordinate captains as well. You know what I'm saying? So talk about the dynamic of that from your experience last year. I guess we can just guess and guesstimate this year because look, if 12 came in last year, 3 times came in this year.
Yes.
So just talk about that and how important that is for that mix to get in, get connected, sooner than later.
Of the 12 that came in last year, only 2 of them really
were leaders.
And that was, let me rephrase that. Trey Palmer, Marcus Washington, and Casey sometime. But the other guys just were guys.
The guys, right.
They weren't natural leaders. They didn't try to be a leader.
Right.
A couple of them tried to, they were feeling their way out on the team all the way to November.
Right. Still walking around
guessing. Still walking around guessing. So it's the makeup and the dynamic of the individual.
Right.
I mean, some of the guys they got in the portal this year, we don't know.
Yeah.
And the guys that are there that are coming back, they should be taking steps forward.
Ty Robinson. Jamari Butlers. You already got
Nick
Nick.
Heinrich,
You already got
you got
Nick
Luke,
and Luke. And
but
yep.
You hopefully one of the guys in the secondary
takes a stronghold.
Takes a stronghold of the whole thing. Still, there's some maturity that has to be done, but you need one of those guys in the secondary to take a strong role of it.
He had talked about Ben Scott coming in, and he started games before, so this is nothing for him. But the fact that he's in the center position, and he's the guy that's a worker, how important it is for him to bring, number one, stability from his actions, but number two, stability from a leadership standpoint because of his experience and what he can bring to that room.
You just need a guy at that position with experience, period.
Right.
I'm talking about, you haven't had a true center. Cam was forced into that role, became a great player after 3 years of developing.
Right.
He struggled the first two. So to have a true center in that room is a major plus for him.
And has played at the started and played and
has
performed
played
well
and
at the
performed
Flower.
well.
Yeah.
That's a huge plus. Now, can he gel with the other four? Or
they need to gel with him.
No, he needs to gel with them because those guys have been here.
Yeah.
He's new. He's still new.
But how long does that? How long?
Just through the spring.
That's when
well, it all depends on how he did in winter conditioning.
Yeah. Well, he's a worker.
If he worked in winter conditioning, some of those guys that've been here,
need to get on my
should
train.
follow his lead.
Yeah.
But not that they don't work hard. I just think they just don't know.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. So it'll be interesting to see coming out of spring who's
the bell cow.
Who's the bell cow up front.
Yeah, ideally you like it with him. I'm not saying that he comes in and just without any, sweat equity comes in and takes over. But look, he's a guy that you're going to be dependent on.
Yes.
And he's the second, he's the eyes and the ears for the whole offense, and he's your protector, your quarterback. So ideally, you'd like him to come in, establish himself from a leadership and work ethic standpoint and a playing execution standpoint, and then maybe not be an authoritative, like I'm up here, you guys are there, but then just bring these guys with him, right?
Bring them with him.
Get Nuri, look, he's been off for a whole year. Get him more focused. Kind of be in his ear, whether it's Piper or whether it's Turner if he's playing, guard or whoever's in there. Get that continuity because the more that inside center and two guard positions can be settled
and solid,
it takes the pressure off of our tackles. And if you do that, then then it opens up the run game. It opens up things you can do on the edges because you feel really good up the middle. So, and that's what you really need as far as an offense, no matter who's playing quarterback. Because if you ain't got a center that knows what he's doing and two guards that can't execute together. Don't matter if you got Tom Brady back there or Dan Marino. It ain't going to work.
Patrick Mahomes.
Or Patrick Mahomes. And so it starts up the middle, and that's what I think they did as far as addressing. The one thing I will say is whether it's Scott, Billy Kemp, MJ Sherman, seems like they got a little bit more foundation pieces from a worker standpoint, which hopefully spreads throughout the whole team.
Much needed.
So that was a good first segment. Kenny's in. How about I got to jump out of here, man. I got basketball. I know we got the little meeting. So I got to hit the highway, the flyway. Jay Foreman, Kenny, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodmen is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodmen representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Guys, it's really happening. A live morning remote. Join Early Break and The Drive from 6 to 10 a.m. on Thursday and Friday at Double Eagle Golf on West O for the first 2 days of the Masters. Bloody Marys, simulator golf, and the Masters. What's better than that? Double Eagle Golf in the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to it. Got 2 more segments, and then we will hand it over. I'm not sure. I think we have a Sam Hoiberg show tonight at 6 o'clock.
About time. Haven't heard from Sam.
Well, he deserves some time.
Busy guy, I know.
He earned it.
Yeah, dude put in work.
Yes, he did.
So he deserves it. And then Rocky Russo, the head coach for the Lincoln Stars. So of course they invited me to do a ceremonial puck drop Saturday, and one of their final games. But I am going to be in Miami for UFC, so they moved the puck drop for me to the 21st of April. But yesterday was Rocky Russo's birthday. So happy birthday, Coach.
Happy birthday, Coach.
Rocky, I love the way Rocky coaches, first of all. I think it's pretty exceptional. And if you haven't, shame on me for only going to 2 Stars games this year, and that'll be the third for the season. I have to do better. Kenny, have you taken the kids?
Mm-mm.
Is that something would you take them to a hockey game? All right, so we'll set that up with Coach Russo, so you can take them and meet the players and do all that sort of stuff. Austin, have you gone? Have you found your way to a Stars
Not to
game?
a Stars game.
Okay, so we need to take care of that. We need to show up and posse ride for the Stars. They're heading to the playoffs, so it's a big time for that. 6 o'clock, 6:05 first pitch tonight for the Huskers against Kansas State in baseball. That's a big one. That's a pretty good Kansas State baseball team. They're 19-11, and they just took a game from number 24 ranked West Virginia. So this is a good one for midweek. I'll have to check the softball schedule because I'm not sure what the women are doing this week. I think they're in Ann Arbor this weekend, but I'm not sure if they've got a midweek.
Husker softball.
Nope.
Next game on the schedule at Maryland.
At Maryland. Okay.
Head out to College Park.
Okay.
For 3.
Oh, well, I can send some people to that game. I can send some folks out there. So Coach Kenny Wilhite is with us, and I spent a little time down at spring practice today, and I get caught up in mechanics. Like before X's and O's, before schemes come into play, individual skills have to be taught.
Fundamentals.
Right? The basic stuff. So I'll ask you this. Is the statement that good players are made from the ground up or good players are made from the brain down? Which one is more true?
That's a double-edged sword right there.
Right?
Because
Well, I mean, that's right. Because each, and then I figured this out. Each coach coaches based on which one of those they believe.
Yes.
Neither is wrong.
No.
But if you have a talented team, you teach from the brain down because you want them to be smarter. They already have the physical. But if you have a team that needs to the scheme to work for them, then you have to work from the fundamentals from the feet up.
Yes.
So if I said to you that it appeared that Nebraska was working from the brain down, what would that tell you about the roster?
They've added some smart guys to the roster.
Right? And that coaching through that space. So I was watching the quarterback group, and you guys were talking about.
Or let me rephrase that.
Oh,
they think the guys have a hold on what they're trying to get done.
They have an understanding.
If they're working from the top down, they feel like the guys have picked it up enough where they can work from the top down.
I've been curious, because you're a talent assessor.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are very few people in the state of Nebraska that can say that they can assess high school to football talent better than Coach Kenny Wilhite. It's a short list. If there's a list at all.
There's a list.
Well, that's question part 2 of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will ask you within the state of Nebraska, who are people that you take their opinion when it comes to talent assessment of high school talent and their ability to transition that into Division I Power 5 football success?
There's a lot of former players. I've said this many a times. There's a lot of former players in the Omaha area.
Okay.
That has their hands on a lot of kids in the area. They've had their hands on them since they were young.
Coach Warren, a guy that Abdul Muhammad, like
Damon Benning,
yep,
Cluster Johnson,
yep.
That's to name. Oh, Matt Verzal.
Yep.
Then there's some former players that are also head coaches in the Omaha area. Tim Young, Matt Turman. So those are guys that I leaned on a lot.
And when they call you and say, "Hey, I got one," you come running.
I come running.
Like you don't even ask.
I don't. I didn't bat an eye. And first thing I did was turn on the film, and if I thought they were good enough, pass it to the person that's supposed to pass it to the next person.
In the passing, right? Before the passing, because this is a whole, like I said, you and I are going to do a whole series of this entire process from contact one to the day they leave whatever program they're walking into, because there's so much intel into it that gets missed. But for you, when you get the phone call, because phone calls and emails are different. The people that you just mentioned, when they're going to call you and say
they're going to call, or they're going to text, say, "Hey, I got a guy. This is a guy.
I got
this
a guy.
Is a dude. He's going to be a dude."
And then you don't. At what point in the conversation does it turn to where did they play? Does that ever come into play? Where they played or who they played against in high school? Does it ever come into play for you?
Not for me. Not for me. I don't care if they play 6-man, 8-man, C, D.
Can they play?
If they can play, and I'm taking those guys' word.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't wait a day to look at the film. I got on the film ASAP, and I gave them an answer. I'd be like, "Hey, I like him. He's got a chance. I'm finna pass it on."
So in the passing, then it requires that the group coach the group coach, whether that group coach is open to having that particular kind of talent in the program.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be a quarterback who has Division I talent, but it may not fit what they're currently doing in the system.
True.
What do you do in that case?
I left that up to the people that made the powers that be. So if there was a quarterback who I thought could legitimately play Division I football that could help us, it was passed on, and then whoever made the decisions on quarterback made the decision on quarterbacks.
And then you get out of the way.
I got out of the way. Now I continue to communicate.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Especially under the days of transfer portal.
Continue the communication process.
We may not date right now, but that don't mean we won't date in the future.
Yeah. So say it's their sophomore year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Communication never stopped. Tried to get him on campus. Even though I know there was no possible scholarship offer,
or at least currently.
I can get him as
or at least currently
a walk-on offer.
Right. So imagine.
So yes.
Right. That
yes.
because where he falls into it as a sophomore in high school doesn't necessarily mean that the situation and the quarterback's room at the University of Nebraska in his senior year is going to be the same.
Yes. Totally true.
Right. So we don't know.
No.
We continue to work.
So I continue to communicate with that player.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the time came for him to get an offer, the offer was made. If it wasn't made. And then
did you ever in the situation where you couldn't get them at Nebraska, then you referred them somewhere that you thought they could fit in? Or did you just simply stay connected for the sake of just
stay connected?
Just
because one, if there was a guy I wanted at the University of Nebraska, I wanted him at the University of Nebraska. I wasn't going to help KU, K-State, Mizzou, anybody like that. But if somebody asked me my opinion, I would give them my opinion.
And people ask.
Yes.
Like you were always asked.
I was always asked.
In the case of a Nebraska football program that was absolutely fluid in that folks were coming in, folks were coming out. Like it was repeat. Mm-hmm. It was place, replace. How do you go about it? Is there a number of quarterbacks on reserve in your mind? So, okay, you make the final roster and the coach is happy with it. Then somebody jumps in the transfer portal that was not expected. Are you matching that with the same type of player? Are you getting the best available player? How would you go about that? What you're thinking?
So if you have 5 quarterbacks and one just all of a sudden jump ship, you have 4, but there may be a bigger need at a different position. You want to go after that position. You want to fill that need first.
Okay.
If you think you have 4 good ones in your room, that other position that needs it, you want to go after that position first.
Let me ask you, in a case where this Husker program, and again, we're using the Husker program as a reference, and it's not speaking directly to the program, but in a quarterback room where you have 6 scholarship players, one is injured in full, one is recovering in full, and then you've got 5 others, 4 on scholarship. at some point, as the lead recruiter for a program, are you concerned about that room at all? About being able to keep everybody in the program?
With the way the portal is now, you're always concerned. You're not only just concerned about quarterbacks, you're concerned about every position. Because let's say, for example, Austin, he had 30 catches last year, right? Maybe 40. He's still on your roster. Let's say Alabama, Georgia loses 2 in the spring, and they come calling in the summer. What do you think?
He gone.
He
gone. He gone.
Let me just say, Kenny, I appreciate you calling me a receiver. I appreciate that example because of where we went before today.
He's all emotional now. Like, you did that for him.
I can't see you playing anything else. You're a basketball player. You got that basketball, baseball body. So that's why I said receiver. So you have to, we said this last week, you have to recruit the guys on your roster every day. You have to. Because, again, he's got 30 catches, 35 catches. And one of the big boys have 2 injuries at that position. They're going to come calling. It just – they're going to use a way to get a hold of Austin.
That really is the business right now.
That's the business.
Like, that's the business that you have to go through it and just simply say, okay, I gotta fight to keep you. But the numbers, like it's a new coach. So let's say you take over Joe's University, right? You walk in today. Your first plan of attack is what?
Recruiting the guys on your roster.
How long does it take you to figure out who you want? Do you want to keep everybody? Or
you're not going to want to keep everybody because there's going to be some guys that when you get, like, again, Austin may tell you something about a kid. Right? He's did this, he's did that, he's did this, he did that. And you sit down with the kid, and the kid selling himself on you. But then the kid goes and does something crazy. So now you know what somebody told you about Austin. It was true.
Yeah.
So now you want to get rid of him. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why there was 39 guys brought into this situation.
Is that a lot?
Yes, that's a lot.
That's a lot, right?
That's a lot.
Is that 39? Is that 39 freshmen? Is that 39 freshmen in red shirts? Is that 39 freshmen in transfers?
Everything.
39 new players. New players.
So there was a reason why there's 39 new players. He came, he saw, he seen.
Not enough.
Not enough.
This is not enough. Man, look, I keep saying it. You and I are going to have over the course of the next year, there's a ton of conversations just to go over the process. Because I don't think most fans really understand the process. As a matter of fact, every time I'm around you, I get more information on how it really works. And that's going to help people get a better understanding of why. Because if it don't make sense, ask somebody that knows. We're gonna stay there with Coach Kenny Wilhite, Austin Orman here, Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Decreasing cloud cover and a warm day on the way. We'll top out near 73. Winds out of the south-southeast at around 15 to 20. Very slight chance of showers this evening into tonight. A low of around 29. Windy and cooler tomorrow. Northwest winds gusting over 30 and a high of only around 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment before we head it over to Ticket Weeknights. And again, I'll have to ask Harrison. I think we've got a Sam Hoiberg show. I'm not sure because Sam's busy. He's been so a lot of the recruiting stuff. You know, you've got to coach his son. He's in play. He's got stuff to handle. I know that Cal Perry's not in tonight because they're in Kansas. They're Kansas State.
They're busy.
He's busy. But Rocky Rooster from Lincoln Stars from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock tonight. And then we'll hit you with the reruns. You can jump on Allo, channel 951. You can see all the shows. We've reprogrammed shows hour for hour behind this. So if you're sitting at home and you want to watch, get caught up on the day, you can do so. Allo, channel 951. You can also go to ticketfm.com, go back, find the shows from the day. You can do the same thing on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We set it up for you. Facebook, you can catch everything. You got apology. Somebody came after you.
Yeah, well, a couple of guys I forgot to mention about who would reach out.
Okay.
One's a former player, Brad Duvall. He's actually one of the guys that when I first got to the University of Nebraska taught me how to be a Nebraska football player. And then the other one was a trainer for us, Doak. Doak is another guy who would call, hey, so-and-so has a kid. Former player has a nephew. Former player has a kid. You might want to get on them. So there was people, and there are people that I leaned on and tried to get information about kids on, and so there's a lot of people out there that wanted to help.
It's a couple of things. One, Tater asked me, Jay's coaching basketball today, and if you hadn't noticed, I'm giving Kenny as many reps as Kenny wants because Kenny can always add to the show. And so if Kenny and Jay are here at the same time, I can go back to my office and get a whole bunch of other stuff done. And in case you don't know, there's a lot of stuff to be done. So Kenny and Jay together is exceptional. When Kenny has something else, I'm back in the game. Jay and I can make it work. If I'm gonna be on the road for the next 3 days, so it'll be Kenny, Jay, and Austin, and they will have all the conversations you need. They can cover everything. And then a couple of things. Let me just say this because I'm not going to end this show in a negative note, but I'm going to handle my business. For those of you who know, and you've been around, you know that this text line is not a thing that's owed to you. And if you text me some nonsense about something that we're not even talking about, I'll take that away from you. That's not what we're doing here. We're just sitting here having a conversation. Like, add to the text line is for you to add to the conversation. If you hit me with some political stuff, I'm going to block you. Like, stop it. Be a grown-up. Now, I'm not going to block you, but I'm going to tell you, stop doing it. We're grown-ups here. We're talking about football. We're giving information. Like, you've got a former Division I head coach, a former Nebraska coach, and a recruiter who can tell you everything you know that you don't know about how business is being done. And instead, you want to take time and inject it into the day. Don't do that. Don't do that. And again, on my watch, not happening. So I'm going to give that reminder. Look, the text line is for you to add to the show. If you're having a tough day, I'm sorry. But this is not the place to air it or vent it. It's just not. Sorry, not sorry. Chill out. And if you don't like what I said, call me. call the boss. Call me. I got you.
Don't let them get you out your square, bro.
No, we cool. You know me. I'm cool as the other side of the fan. I'm just letting folks know. You act childish around me, I'm gonna call it. Like, don't do it. Kenny, one final thing before we head it and hand this thing over to you. Where do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put the reports from spring practice? Does this look like what you want it to look like? Because you have skin in the game. You've got players that you've put into this system. You've got scabs and scars and injuries from this program. Where is it compared to where you want it?
I speak for a lot of people. It's nowhere near where I want it.
Right.
It's got a lot of work to do. It's not going to be fixed overnight. There's a lot of pieces that need to be in place.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to always be a Nebraska fan, regardless if I'm in the building or not. And I'm going to always be pulling for those kids in that locker room that I played a part in getting them to the university. So, again, it's spring ball. We don't know. We won't know. We won't know until next August. You will not know.
Not even April 22nd.
You will not know on the 22nd what this team is going to be like, because there's going to be some more people moving in, more people moving out. You got to add pieces. You got to subtract pieces. So we won't know what this team is about until first game next year.
I think it's funny. Now, so here's another thing, just as a reminder. We do our pregame show. We'll be out and about. We'll announce it next week where we're going to be for pregame, April 22nd. I believe kickoff's at 1 o'clock, which means our pregame would start around 10:30. What we do on this one is that we mix and match talent for all the shows. And curiously, we have a really good roster to mix and match from. So imagine if you come down to wherever we're going to be, and that said place will be announced, you may get Kenny Wilhite with Amon Green. You may get Austin with Coach Bill Bush. You may get Jay Foreman with Vershawn. You may get Farley with AD.
Oh, Lord.
We are going to have a good time. Look, man, I hope you make plans to come down and just get hyped with us for the spring game. Even if you're not going to go to the spring game itself.
If you're just going to tailgate and
just come hang out. Just come hang out.
Party, just hang out.
Right? Like, it's good stuff. So we'll announce that soon. I believe we have Hoiberg.
I thought that was him.
I believe we have Hoiberg and company. We're going to find that out. But we've got ticket weeknights coming to you. Simple's Hamster, appreciate you, brother. Cleet, appreciate you, brother. Don, I still don't like Gunther. I don't understand him. Dude just missed leg day. Stop wearing shorts at WWE if you skip leg day. That's all I'm saying. Don't go anywhere. Love y'all. Remember, love yourself. Just because.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme water